Module 1, Section 5, Objective 11. Multiply whole numbers by multiples of 10. So, looking at these four equations, what do you notice? Okay, if you can see 9 times 8 is 72. And now here's 9 times 80 is 720. 9 times 800 is 7,200. 9 times 8,000 is 72,000. So yes, there's definitely a connection. Okay, so 9 times 8. 9 times 8, there's 72. 9 times 8 is 72. And 9 times 8 is 72. Okay, so the zeros on the end are the only difference. And now take a look at this. If you have 1 0, you have 1 0. If you have 2, then there's 2 in your answer. If you have 3, then there are 3 in your answer. It's kind of cool, huh? So that's a shortcut to multiplying. And let's look and see what else we can do with it here. Actually, here are the rules first. Okay, so their rules, it says multiply the non-zero digits in front, add the number of zeros in power of 10 factor to the number being multiplied. That just sounds crazy, doesn't it? So I rewrote it to say multiply the numbers before the ending zeros. Let me give you an example here and you can see what we're talking about. Okay, so let's say 30 times 500. Okay, so multiply the numbers before the ending zeros. So we're going to use 3 and 5. So 3 times 5 is 15. Then, following the answer to number 1, so following the 15, write the number of zeros that were excluded to get that answer. So we excluded this 0 and those 2 zeros. So we're going to add 3 more zeros, and that's your answer. It's 15,000. Really kind of easy and kind of fun. So let's do another one. How about 4,000, that's crazy 4, times 30. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So it's 12,000. Okay, example 16, we're multiplying using mental math and powers of 10. Okay, now I erased all of their extra words because it was just kind of a lot of wording that was kind of confusing. So let's take a look at it. Here we go. We're going to start with the 70 times 200. So you're going to take the 7, whoa, let's try that again. 7, much better, times 2 gives you 14. And then we're going to count the zeros. So 1, 2, 3. So it's 14,000. And you're done. Okay, so now this next one, see the 808 at the beginning, the 808? Because that 0 is not at the end, this particular rule of counting zeros doesn't apply to that 0. Okay, so we're going to use 808 times 1. So 808, and then add 3 zeros. So your answer is 808,000. Okay, next one. 5 times 4 is 20, right? And now we need to figure out which zeros we didn't use. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would mean it's 2 million. Kind of fun. All right, over here we have 176 times 1. So that's just 176. And then the 3 zeros we left off. So 1, 2, 3. 176,000. Okay, this next one. 3 times 6 is 18. And let's check the zeros now. So there's 2. and 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So 18 million. Okay, putting in the commas in before you get all your zeros in is useless. So you got to get all your zeros first. So I can't really leave space because I don't know where they're going to be, right? Okay, so 12 times 4 is 48. Then 1, 2, 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. Put our comma in 3 from the back, and we have 48,000. Okay, theirs is a little bit of a mess. So I redid it down here at the bottom vertically instead of horizontally. So let me get rid of theirs. Okay, so first one, 6 times 99. And they say that 99 is really close to 100, right? It's just one less. Now this is using the distributive property. So we're going to do 6 times 100 gives you the 600. And then 6 times 1 gives you the 6. Because this was a subtract, we're going to subtract here. And at this point, you can just count down from 600 and get to 594. So you're trying to do some of these in your head rather than actually doing a long multiply problem. Okay, sometimes it's easier to do the long multiply problem, but here's a way that it might make it easy for you. Okay, so 102 is 100 add 2. So now, if we go 7 times 100 gives you 700. 7 times 2 is 14. And this time we're adding, so you add those, and you get your 714. Okay, now this last one is a little bit more complicated because you have 3 full digits instead of zeros and 2 digits and whatever, so you get to break it down into 3 numbers. So place value, 300, 70, and 1. Okay, so 5 times 300 is the 1500. 5 times 70, you're going to do 5 times 7 is 35, and add the 0. Then we have 5 times 1 is 5. We're adding these, so we add these. Now adding those in your head, maybe not so easy. Okay, so you want to line them up and down and get your place values in the right place. So we get a 5, 5, 8, and 1. Okay, so we're using the distributive property, and we're multiplying the numbers in front and tacking the zeros on at the end. And there we have a little bit of a shortcut if you want to use it. Okay, example 17. Once again, I cleared their explanations out so we can do it ourselves. Okay, so show how you can use the distributive property and power of 10 to make multiplication easier for mental math. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this first one as 2 times 60 plus 7. Okay, and then I'm going to go 2 times 60, which means 12 with that 0. And now 2 times 7 is 14. So 120 add 14 is 134. And yet I know I got in the way of the next problem, so I'm going to do the next problem down here and then this problem over here. Okay, so B is 234 times 6. So I'm going to break 234 into place values. So 234 and times it by 6 from the back. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple equal signs down here. So 6 times 200. 6 times 2 is 12, and then I left off 2 zeros. Okay, 6 times 30. So 6 times 3 is 18, and 1 0. 6 times 4 is 24. So is this easier? Possibly not. But it does help you understand how you can use the distributive property and the powers of 10. Okay, so adding straight down now. So it's 1404. Okay, next one is 7 times 603. And I should have used an X like they do, but I am so used to not writing X's anymore that I automatically change them. Okay, so put in a few equal signs so I don't have to keep changing colors back and forth. So now I'm going to write place values. So 603. And that's pretty easy. So 7 times 600. 7 times 6 is 42, and then 2 zeros. 7 times 3 is 21. Add those up, that's pretty easy, because the 21 replaces the 2 zeros, right? Okay, let's do them over on this side. So 3 times 35. I'm going to space them out all over this side like I did on the last one. So 3 times 30 plus 5. So we have 3 times 30 is 90. And 3 times 5 is 15. So 90 plus 15 is 105. Okay, this one is going to be here, and this one will be here. So E is 4 times 678, and F is 9 times 583. Okay, now it's really important when you rewrite a number using the distributive property that you use parentheses, okay? Because this 600 plus 70 plus 8, this whole thing represents a single number. So putting it in these parentheses makes that obvious that it's one group, okay? So 4 times 600, 4 times 6 is 24, and then we have 2 zeros. 4 times 70, 4 times 7 is 28, and 1 zero. 4 times 8 is just 32. Okay, now this is one of those that may or may not be as easy to do this way, but we're practicing, right? Okay, so we have a 2, an 11, a 7, and a 2. So 2,712. Okay, so rewriting this one as place value and parentheses for the number that we're breaking down. And now we're going to distribute the 9. So 9 times 500 is 45 and 2 zeros. 9 times 80, so 9 times 8 is 72 and 1 zero. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, and this one I would line them up as well because you have some weird numbers here. Trying to add them in your head would be ridiculous. Okay, there's no reason why you should do something in your head if writing it out is easier. So 5,247.